Hello everybody, I am TH and with me today is my good friend and buddy Recurring. Say hi, Guy.
Hi guys.
And welcome to a theory video.
On Disney role models found in Disney princess films.
Most of us have watched a Disney movie in our lifetime. The stories and animation capture something in our hearts.
Over the years there have been one or two theories about Disney, one being the lack of mothers in the princesses' films. If you haven't heard of it, it goes thus.
Disney bought a house for his mother and a short while later she died of suffocation caused by a faulty boiler in the new home Walt Disney had bought for his parents.
While sad and tragic, we believe this isn't why most of our favourite films have a lack of mothers. In order to get that notion out of your minds, can anyone name one Disney tale where the original had a mother who lived past the first page?
We believe, while the films are mother and sometimes fatherless, Disney provided role models for children to turn to if needed.
We will be talking about 5 Disney princesses who we believe have hidden role models.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a tale of, I think, a mixture of physical and psychological abuse, which, unlike Cinderella, which we will get to in a moment, it doesn't tell you the abuse Snow White must have been going through while she was living with her mother. When she gets a chance, she runs away to find 7 little men. I am very familiar with the Snow White story, both the original versions and this Disney version. Whilst the Disney version cuts out a lot of stuff that I don't really see is necessarily added in, it does show you that there was one dwarf that took charge and someone that anyone in the present day can go and see if they can't get help from their parents. And that dwarf was Doc. Doc was the grandfather/father figure for Snow White in this film because he takes charge. Grumpy, yes, barked out orders, but to be fair, lots of people bark out orders. Whilst, yes, Snow White liked Grumpy, Doc was the figure, and I bet you Doc would have been the one anyone would be more comfortable going to. And nowadays, today, if you have a problem that you need someone to talk to, if you can't talk about it to your family, you may or may not be going to a doctor to get some help. That's why I say for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Doc is the role model from this film.
Cinderella. Now, Cinderella, we believe her role model was the fairy godmother. A lovely lady that, enabled her to experience that freedom that she oh so desired that she could not get while under the strict rule of the stepmom and stepsisters. Now, the freedom in itself was initially stress, but its spell remained in the form of her shoe, which the lovely Prince Charming did so find, even though that she was not looking for love. It happened. The rest is history, as you know. But in modern days, I believe the role of the fairy godmother could be placed as modern day aunts, who could be godmothers as well, or just a lovable aunt that everyone just has that infinity for, that can turn to and tell any of their secrets and feelings. So I believe that is why Cinderella's role model, beautiful fairy godmother.
Sleeping Beauty. Wonderful Disney tale. Actually, a Disney tale with both parents in, but not an active set of parents. In order to protect their young daughter from a curse from the evil witch Maleficent, the king and queen, Sir Aurora's own parents, decide to send their daughter away to be raised by 3 fairies to protect her. Good plan. Almost worked. Anyway, whilst the three fairies were raising Aurora, they would have been more parental figures to her. And instead of all three of them being like aunts and whatnot, even though in the film she calls them aunt, I would actually divide them into three categories for this case. You have Flora, the red fairy, who I would see as the grandmother figure, the bumbly, always positive, and was kind and understanding. Then you had Fauna, the green fairy. She would have been more the older aunt that would happily just say, yes dear, go and do it, just to see you smile and just to have that little smile on your face. And then we have Merryweather, the younger aunt, so like an aunt that's maybe 10 years older than your parents. And she would have been the voice of reason that would have said, no, you can't do this, but you could do that. That's my take on the three fairies from Sleepy Beauty and how they are role models to Aurora and how you can interpret them as role models to the present day. And like I say, the three fairies obviously are the role models for Sleeping Beauty.
The Little Mermaid. A classic little tale, if you excuse the pun. Now, even though she did have a father figure, even though not so active, she was always put onto the right track by help of her little friend, Sebastian.
Not that one.
Yes, right.
Better.
Now, Sebastian, this little crustacean, always made sure that she knew the right from the wrong, and was, how shall I put it? I'd say in modern terminology he was more of the strict but fair uncle that everyone does need in their life sometimes, because if you're unsure about something, I'm sure they have the perfect advice to help you out. So that is why I believe that Ariel's saving grace in this would be the great Sebastian, and no, not that one.
Beauty and the Beast, a tale as old as time. We're not going to go into that. Too much more, we'll get sued for it. Anyway.
Well, there you go.
Beauty and the Beast is the best film on this list. I mean, the others, awesome films, but Beauty and the Beast is the better film, if only for the fact that she has an active father figure in this film. Whilst Recurring and I agreed, there are two role models specifically in this film. Maurice, her father, and
Mrs. Potts.
Right, I'm going to talk about Maurice and Recurring's going to talk about Miss Potts. And let me start off with Maurice, the loving father that every kid would probably want.
Not to mention about the gadgets that he can make.
Oh, hell yeah. Maurice understood his daughter was different, but yet he tried to incorporate her into the local community. It's shown more in the new remake of the film, but you can see he wants her to be safe. And in his mind, a small community is a safer community. When the Beast captures Maurice, and Belle comes to rescue him, Maurice doesn't want his daughter to be suffering for what he thought she was going to suffer through. So he did what any father would do, and is basically say, go and live your life, let me stay here. Well, we all know how many girls listen to their fathers.
Wow.
And once the Beast sort of took away that role model, a second role model came into the fray. And this is where the whole trusting someone else comes in from Beauty and the Beast.
Now, with Mrs. Potts, she had that unique ability that seems to shine through no matter what happened. And it's always that nurturing, caring person. Almost that grandma figure. The one that, no matter what you can do, you can never do no harm, and she's always right there beside you to help and to guide you.
when Belle did actually get in, she did take over and basically became the advisory to Belle, if shown in both films.
Absolutely. I mean, there were obviously the comic relief, shall we say, call them?
Aside from all the comic relief, though, Miss Spots was a serious character. She knew what she wanted. Well, although she knew what she wanted Belle to do,
she also knew tactician and not to force, because if you force someone, they're more liable to resist and repel.
Yes.
As with our lovely grandmother feeling, she helped nudge Belle into the right direction through care and nurturing.
She more or less showed Belle that the important lesson which should really be taught more often in today's society,
Definitely.
Which is do not base your opinion on looks alone.
As the old saying goes, never judge a book by its cover.
So, whilst in this film has two role models, the actual father Maurice and
Mrs. Potts,
we say they're both suitable role models for the modern day, and they are the role models for this film. And that was 5 older Disney films where you have hidden role models. There are probably some in other films. We were going to talk about Princess Jasmine, but then we realised she had a father figure.
and he was quite active throughout.
And in all fairness, the genie was an advisory to Aladdin, not Jasmine, so unfortunately
Kind of ruined him out as well.
Yeah. But those are the 5 of the older ones. We don't want to include modern ones either, because the role models seem to be more thrust upon you. They're not subtle.
Yeah.
So if we could be wrong. It's just for us it seems a bit more, oh crap, no parents, we need to shove something in here.
Yeah, quickly ram something down there, get on there, so people can associate immediately. But hey, we might be wrong. If we have, let us know in the comments. And until the next time,
we hope you have enjoyed our first of hopefully many theories we will probably randomly do over the year.
Yeah. Yes.
But for now, I am TH, I have been with Recurring.
And I hope you enjoyed it all.
Yeah, good luck and sweet nightmares.
Bye, Shadows.
You know what, Recurring, we forgot to do a shout out.
Oh, we can't forget to do that. Come on, TH.
Right, a few weeks ago, ScreenPrism released a Cinderella video called Stop Blaming the Victim that helped inspire the Cinderella segment of this video.
And if it wasn't for all their theories,
Recurring wouldn't have had the basis for her talk about the fairy godmother.
So we'd like to thank you all for giving us inspiration for our little theory.
If you would like to see the theory yourself, we are going to put a link in the description below. Thank you and good luck and sweet nightmares.
Bye, my shadows.